What a great win last week in Indianapolis. I think with all the Deshaun Watson stuff that's been going on off the field gets lost. I love this victory. The Browns usually don't win games like that. Tony Camino there, he broke down on BelieveInTheLand.com this game in film, as he does every week. It's one of our more popular articles on BelieveInTheLand.com. Check out that and many other things that we do. And I'm Andy Billman here. Tony, overall, before we get into these plays, your thoughts on the Colts after looking back at it again?
I'm not usually one to get stressed watching Browns games to that extent. That game had me, I mean, it was just gut wrenching the whole time, back and forth. Felt like we weren't going to pull it out after everything we went through, but really a gutsy win because we weren't at our best at anything. Nobody was at their best. They found a way to get the win, and they came through with a touchdown drive to win the game. So that was scary, but an impressive win nonetheless.
Well, one guy who was impressive was Myles Garrett. My gosh, did
Yeah.
he have a great day here? And how can he not do something on Myles Garrett in this game? So, Tony, take us through the wonderful strip sack that he made.
Yeah, this is the second or third week where we could have sat here and just broke down, okay, this Miles did this, then Miles did this. And there's not much schematically to even break down here. This is just Miles being great at football. He's lined up in his normal nine technique outside the tight end. And what you're going to see here is both the tight end and the right tackle are tasked to get a block on him. Obviously, because you're not going to send two guys, you're not going to let Miles just one on one. And this was right before the half. So we're down at this point in the game, right around the 2 minute mark, and Myles doesn't break stride. The tight end chips him, doesn't slow him down. Then the right tackle sets out more, tries to block him, doesn't slow him down at all. Myles, it's like nobody was there. He gets best both of them with ease, gets the ball out, and the Browns jump on it for the play of the game. I mean, that moment in that game to then get it back afterwards, get another stop, and get three, that sequence to end the half, that's something that Browns teams have never done, where you
Yeah.
just dominate the last couple minutes of a half. And it's really where games are won and lost because you have teams like the Colts, and I like Shane Steichen for the Colts. I think he's a good coach. I like
Mhm.
what they're doing. I don't know why they were throwing there because they should have just been fine with where they were at, make the Browns use their timeouts. With the way our offense was moving, best worst case for them was they were going to give up three. Instead, they try to get a little aggressive, possess the ball to end the half, and Myles Garrett makes a play that I think everybody could have predicted coming and changes the whole outlook of the game.
He is remarkable. You're too young, but I remember Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor did things like this all the time in games. Derek Thomas did things like this all the time in games. You are not too young for this. J.J. Watt has done this in games. In fact, he did it one time against the Browns,
Yeah.
where he was just unreal at the stadium, and it was bad. So there are moments like this. I will also give credit here because it's not something you can see in film because it's a decision. The decision here to punt by Stefanski is why it was the right call. He punted here. There's a debate on TV whether they should go on for it or not. This is why you punt. You have a defense like this that can make plays and score. It just in past years you could argue to something else. Not this year. You in situations like this, field position and backing up the team is smart. Kudos to, kudos to Stefanski. That was the right call here. Really was.
Yeah, I think maybe in a sense where our offense is clicking like they were against Tennessee, that's a different. You maybe are like, okay, we feel good. We feel like we can get it. The
Right.
way the offense has been to start the year and the way the defense has been, to me, it's a no-brainer. You got to let the defense go to work.
You really do in these situations. Another guy who I've been talking about a lot in articles is Denzel Ward. I thought he was wonderful in this game again. He's having a great year. Talk about what we're going to see here with Denzel.
Yeah, so the Colts schemed us up pretty well this week. They ran this pick type of concept a ton where the receiver almost blocks the guy who the other guy is guarding. So Delpit, who is right in front of Pittman, is going to get the tight end that's coming across the formation. Denzel is on Pittman. Right away, he notices Pittman go to block him. Not, it's a legal block, like a legal chip, where they try to get that natural pick to get the receiver free. They were doing it all day and it was working. So Denzel thought he saw, okay, he's doing it again. We're gonna jump the route that or I think that's Thornhill actually, jump the route that Thornhill has and cover this man to make it a no play. But they actually had a wrinkle off this where Pittman was gonna run up to Thornhill, act like he was trying to set a natural pick, and then release upfield in hopes that Denzel did exactly what he did. And he got caught up looking at the other tight end. I mean, he flips his hips quickly, and the closing speed here to get that much distance and make the interception is it's incredible. And this was really good play calling from the Colts, really good using wrinkles off of what's already been working. But when you have talent like Denzel Ward, even when he was beat, he recovers and makes a really good play.
Look, I mean, to Tony's point, it's not too hard to see he's kind of in space here where he doesn't know. He's kind of in between, and he's definitely caught here. But for him to be able to go across the field like that quickly speaks to the depth and the talent that they have right now in secondary. I know at times we tend to forget him. He is a wonderful, wonderful player.
Yeah, he's special. He's one of the better man-to-man corners in the league, and he's got great ball tracking skills. Everything you want in a corner outside of the tackling, but I can live with my cornerback not being an ultra run defender when you can cover like Denzel can.
You know what? And honestly, it's not only that. That's okay, because you cannot have these kind of things where like that kind of play happens quite a bit in the NFL. And for Denzel to have that mistake, but to catch up and not even seem like it's a mistake, that's when you have talent. That's his
Yeah,
talent. You cannot
absolutely.
teach what he can do there. They really are. I mean, we can go to Marvin Emerson as well. Newsom. Well, I didn't think Newsom had the best day on Sunday. How do you rate this secondary right now, Tony?
They're coming off their worst game. This was the first
Yeah,
time where we saw. I mean, like I said earlier, Shane Steichen's a good coach. They had a good game plan, ran a lot of wrinkles that gave the Browns troubles trying to pass it off in man coverage and having everyone on the same page. But I think overall, this is one of the more talented, especially man coverage, but just coverage groups in the entire NFL. When you've got the cornerback trio of Ward, Newsom, and Emerson, and then Delpit coming off his worst game against the Colts, but Delpit has been fantastic at covering tight ends this year. We saw how good he did against Kittle in the 49ers game. So to have those three along with Delpit and then Thornhill as your deep zone, it's a really nice coverage to have on your back end.
talented cornerbacks for sure. The Ford fumble. Tony, explain it. We were just talking about this before we came online. Explain what you saw here and what should we make of this play?
Well, unfortunately, this is where it's you love to just point the fingers at the sideline, but this is just players have to execute. This play very well could go for a touchdown. So they're gonna fake it to Kareem like a fullback dive, pitch it out to Jerome Ford. And when the play unfolds, you see it easily. There's room for running for days. There's a safety here at the top, like all the way to the right, that's kinda in the picture. Person got his man sealed. Cooper is running his man off and then blocking him. Maybe he makes the play, but the first down line is the blue line that I highlighted at the 39. He's going to get that with ease. And then he might go on and score. So there was a lot of plays over the last couple of weeks where the play call has been the right call, especially on that last sequence to end the game where we were on the goal line. We should have had a touchdown on first down. Then we should have had a touchdown on second down. They failed both. Probably should have had a touchdown on third down too, failed again, but luckily Kareem knocked it in. So it's just a simple matter of the play calling has been good in a lot of cases. We need to start seeing guys execute these plays that they're asked to.
Well, I think the one thing I'll say, and I don't want to give it a pass. The one thing I'll say though is this is what happens when you have new players. There's a lot of Browns players who have been back. Ford didn't really play last year. PJ Walker we just grabbed. These are new guys. Cream Hunt, we just signed him. We forget that. He wasn't on the roster to begin the year. I mean, he came in very late. So after the Chubb injury. So these are new guys. And this is what happens when you have new guys. You tend to get mistakes. And that's why sitting Watson is the right thing. Give these guys practice time. A favorite Stefanski go to is the flea flicker. Talk about it, Mr. Camino.
Yeah, I from a defensive standpoint, it's so hard to guard this play because what you're seeing here is the handoff to Kareem. He's gonna then toss it back, and then we're gonna just dump it off to Njoku. So as the linebackers, you initially come up on the handoff because you're playing the run. Then you quickly see the flea flicker. You're backpedaling in a hurry because most flea flickers come with a deep shot behind you. So you see them quickly backpedaling, and then when you throw it underneath and get blockers out in front, it's just free yards. And we've seen these type of creative screen passes where Stefanski finds ways to get free yards no matter who's out there. Now this it helps when we've got David Njoku, who's one of the more athletic tight ends. But I mean you see it right here. So you've got Wills kicked out and then Posick over here where there's the one backside linebacker comes to make the play, but he's he's a good 15 yards away from Njoku at this point, and he's athletic enough where he gets a huge chunk. It's just nice to be able to scheme guys open, and that's what he's done so well consistently. Even when the offensive production hasn't been there,
Hmm.
he's done a very good job at getting cheap yards and scheming guys open to get plays like this when we
Hmm.
don't have our best group out there.
What do free yards mean? I like that term. What does that really mean for people? 'Cause I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
What I mean by free yards is kind of like something like that where it's like the play call is so good and it's just the right play and it's an easy screen pass where you're getting yards to where the defense really can't do anything about it.
Right.
Like there's really not much if you're watching that as the films guys with the Colts, you're not really asking a whole lot different. Maybe react a little bit better, but so it's just to have those play calls where you know it's going to work because you've designed it so well, where it's going to get you at worst that play was going to go for 5 yards. Even if they played it perfectly, it was still going to go for 5 yards. So to have those kind of screen plays that can just get those easy ones where get you ahead, because that's the big thing is the Browns are struggling to win on first downs, and then they're getting into third and longs, and so to have plays where you can consistently get into 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4 makes life a lot easier.
It does. And again, that's something that Tony pointed out that I've never really thought about. The defense gives this to you, and they're clearly not in a position to prepare. They have to be aggressive. It helps. The Browns do run the ball a lot. So anytime a free flicker is called, it's actually going to really help if it's executed because the Browns run the ball a lot. They really do. You cannot complain this year about the Browns running the ball. They run the ball
Mm-hmm.
more than most teams in the league do. So these flickers really do work when executed. Finally, you have labeled this, and it was. This was the best throw. What happened here in this play, Tony?
This was just all around good job from PJ Walker. He didn't have a very good day again, but this is 3rd and 10 with the game on the line.
Game on the line,
Game
folks.
this like if this throw doesn't happen, we don't win the game. So he sees quickly that that safety to the top of the screen is going to rotate back, play cover 2. So when a team's playing cover 2, the red circles are where you look to attack. The middle of the field if you can get in between the two safeties or what they like to call the hole shot on the sideline. So it's because those two corners are going to play flat closer to the 25, there's going to be that hole in between the safety and the corner. And that's exactly what PJ knows he has. He sees the safety bail on the snap. He knows that it's going to be there. He still has to put this ball with the exact amount of zip and the exact placement to keep it away from the safety, but it's there. It's the right read and it's there. You could see here he's getting drilled as he made that throw, but still puts it right on the money. You could see the cornerback was just playing two underneath. Safety couldn't get over in time because that's the weakness in the defense. And then Elijah Moore, great after the catch here, makes a man miss, gets a huge chunk when the game looked like it was falling away from us.
I will say Elijah Moore has made one play I can remember, and that's the play we just highlighted. I will again. Yes, it's a pro. Yes, it has to be done. God, how many times as Browns fans we've seen that be dropped, or we see a guy who really can't handle the situation and runs incorrectly or stops in the route. Boy, Elijah Moore, I will be fair. He ran the right route. He ran through the route, and he got yards. There's been so many times in the past where guys will pout and they start checking out. And he didn't on that play. Kudos to Elijah Moore, too. Great throw by Walker, but Elijah Moore, but every chance to hang his head, didn't. And that's the play of the game. I mean, it really was. Once you got the midfield, you're like, okay, this game can settle down. And as we all know, the referees kind of took over from there a little bit. I thought the first Amari Cooper, real quickly, then we'll end on this. I thought the first Amari Cooper foul was fine. I thought it actually
Yeah.
was the right call. I know the NFL said no later. I don't agree with that. The second one's certainly questionable, but I did like the first flag. Even being a Browns fan with colored glasses on, I thought that was the right call.
Yeah, he clearly grabbed him before he was getting to his route. I guess the argument is more like PJ wasn't even going to have a chance to get him the ball.
Eh,
I think that first one should have been a flag for sure. The second one is really just you're saying it's uncatchable, which it's tough to be in that spot as a ref because these NFL guys are such freak athletes. It's really hard to determine in that spot what really is uncatchable. It
yep.
looked pretty uncatchable, but when you've got a guy holding his hands down, the refs are probably going to err on the offensive guy's side, whether you like that or not. And we've been on way too many of the other
Yes.
sides of this, so to finally get one where a questionable call goes our way, it's a relief.
We'll take it. BelieveInTheLand.com. Tony Camino broke down this game more. Wonderful article. Check it out. Film review from the Colts game this week. Go to Believe in the Land. Obviously, you're here at believeintheland.com, Believe in the Land on YouTube, at Official Cleveland Sports for after the game. What a great victory it was. Relive it in the film review.